So in the last 60 to 90 days, I've actually booked like 8 inbound coaching calls with only 26 subscribers. And this exact system that I'm going to reveal to you today, it is the exact system that I will be using to scale myself to 10k a month in just the next few months, right? But anyways, like just to give you some proof, have I actually done that? Well, this is my channel, as you can see, right? 26 subs, and these are the results, like again, like as you can see, right? Booked calls, then like inbound DMs, booked calls, client results, and inbound DMs and stuff, right? So how do I do it? Well, understand that on surface level you only need two things, which is like traffic generation and conversion process, right? So instead of going to the traditional way of getting traffic from Instagram and converting it on YouTube, I just use YouTube for both of the things, right? Now the big question is, how do I actually use it? Because almost everyone use YouTube to book calls, but like they don't get the same results as me, right? Not trying to brag, but just like trying to explain like how I did it, right? So the reason behind the difference in results between me and everyone else, and yes, there is a difference, it's from vidIQ itself. vidIQ, if you don't know, it's an app authenticated by YouTube itself to basically like it helps your YouTube channel scale a lot faster, right? So as you can see, like most micro channels under 100 subs struggle to break 40 to 50% non-subscriber views, and we are at 80%, right? And one of the reasons behind that is like the algorithm sees the potential in my niche positioning, right? But anyways, I'm going to tell you exactly how to do this for yourself, right? And the difference in the results is because like of my own system that I created for myself to book more calls. And the thing is like it's insanely simple, yet again like it's on track on helping me make like 10k a month in just the next few months, right? So the system is called Human Bias Content Ecosystem. This is my own system, and I use this exact system to book calls for myself, and will use this exact system to like scale and book more calls, right? Now what is this system? Before that, let me tell you something about myself, right? Growing up, I had some shtick, which is why like I just basically understand humans a lot better, as a result of that shtick. And that is how I created this system, right? It works on human perceptions, desires, cognitions, and basically it just works on human psychology, right? Talking about human psychology, I will paste a video in the I section. You can probably see it here, and like go and watch that video after this one, because like it's gonna help you a lot with understanding the system a lot better and getting results from it by yourself, right? Now, why does this system work, and why will it work specifically for you? Look, everyone is literally doing the same stuff in this like online coaching space. Oh, this is the best way to get clients from SMS, or best way to scale your coaching business in 2026, or how I made 100k this month at 20 years old. And the secret is they just made like 9k in hand profit. But like we're not gonna go over that, right? It's not my job to talk about it, right? If you go on and open the camera and start talking about the same stuff, here's how your audience perceives it. Yeah, he's just another guy like Alex Hormozi or Charlie Morgan trying to make money off of me. Well, for my clients, I do all of this process by myself, right? From consciously telling them how to plant first principles in their own videos, and to create the complete offer deck for them. So if you want your money to work for you and not the other way around, you can book a quick call with me from the first link in the description, right? And the thing is like you gotta have an edge or something that makes people attract to you, right? Why? Well, ask for yourself, right? If you're in a relationship with someone, romantically, let's say, why are you with them? There are billions of people on this planet. Why just them? From my perspective, the answer would be they have something in them that no one else have, right? It could be that they push you to become a better person, or they provide for you, right? Which is why it's important for you to have an edge, and this system gives you exactly that, right? For example, this is my most viewed video, and it is the exact video that booked me most of my calls, right? And just as an example, this is how I very consciously try and plant those human bias that I talked about. So I was giving some example, and I talked about like while growing up I was a swimmer, and just because of the experiences I had as a swimmer, it shaped my belief, and now I associate water with calmness, solitude, and peace, right? Now the thing is like I was explaining beliefs, which means like I could have gone a lot deeper into why it happened and all of that stuff, but I did not. The thing is like this line, it shows my personality, but I intentionally do not tell the story to create curiosity in the viewer's mind to watch more of my content, right? And that is why I get DMs like these, like he was like extremely warm leads, right? So how does this system actually work? Look, this is like the inbound client acquisition in a nutshell, which you have humans in your niche and you expose them to a specific stimuli. Stimuli is basically the words you say that evokes the desired action from your viewers, which is basically to book calls, right? And as a result of doing these things correctly, we evoke the desirable action, which is to book calls. We use metrics to improve the system, and like this is the environment that we do all of this, which is like the gurus in your niche or our niche, that affects the market, right? So how does the system work? It's like we consciously induce first principles of human psychology in our content ecosystem to book calls and convert them. And the reason it works so well is because like it's not some tactical stuff that changes every few weeks like every other system that you have seen by now. These first principles of human psychology and behavior are evergreen, right? Which is why like they're guaranteed to work for almost anyone who provides value, right? The thing is like humans have some bias and people are not aware of them, so they don't really know how to leverage these biases. What we consciously do is like we plant those bias in our YouTube videos throughout the video to book more calls and help them change their lives, right? And I have used those exact bias in this video also, right? The best way to explain this is with the help of an example. By the way, like on one of my sales call, I actually asked this guy on what video made him buy, and this is what he said basically. So first principle example, pain. By the way, this is the one of the strongest bias that I use in my content because like it just work like extremely well, right? So try and imagine something like this. This is your viewer with their current situation, which is like bad health, bad relationship, bad money, the spectrum under which people have all of their problems. And this is the desired situation in which like they have good relationship, good health, good money, right? So between their current situation and the desired situation is a gap, right? And this gap is the pain. Now, the thing that most people freak up is like they think that they can create pain. Well, no, you cannot really do that. The thing is like you can only amplify the existing pain. Why? Because like you cannot really force someone to make 10k a month. It only happens when they have some pain, and we consciously or subconsciously amplify that pain, right? So here's how you consciously amplify that pain in your videos so you can book calls from them, right? So how do you do that? Well, for that you have to find their pain. Now this is the person in your niche that you're trying to sell, and they have their traumas, desires, beliefs, latent triggers, and infinite more things. Well, for better understanding, like you can go to the description and watch the free course, because like it will give you a lot more insight into human paradigms, how they evolve, and basically how to use that understanding to book calls. Obviously not at a really deep level, but still like that can help you. And these are the basic human needs, right? Which is like physiological needs: safety and security, love, belonging, self-esteem, and self-actualization. So what happens is like when you mix those personal traumas, desires, belief along with basic human needs, when you mix them together, this creates pain, right? And this is how you find your audience pain / problem. Now once you have found it, how do you amplify it? The key is you let them think, right? And here's how you do it. So let's say this is the viewer watching this video, which is like how high ticket coaches exploit human psychology to sign 10k clients, right? And the goal of this video, let's just say the goal of this video is to convey the message that using human psychology is the best way to sign clients. Why is that the goal? Well, because for example, let's just say that my services combine human psychology with client acquisition, and the truth is to some degree they do, right? So here's how I will convey this message through my videos so that the pain is amplified and they book calls. There is a reason why six-figure coaches steal your clients. They understand your clients better than you understand them. And even if you do understand them, you're not able to make that personal relationship with them that you need in order to keep them. Which is why like these six-figure coaches understand human psychology, which is why they can make personal relationship with your clients, and that is why they steal your clients and they book calls with them. So what I did is just like I used jealousy as an emotion to create the fear of losing all of their remaining clients. And not just that, I will just try and consciously create the picture of what happens once they lose all of their clients, how their day is gonna look like, and how it's gonna affect them, right? Every single thing. And this is how you use pain, which is like one of many levers to induce action from your viewers, right? And just like this, there are almost like 10 to 15 first principles of human behavior and psychology that I consciously use throughout my videos to book calls and stand myself apart than everyone else, right? And by the way, for my clients, I just do all of this myself, right? So what you can do is just like make your money work for you. Anyways, if you want to book a call, you can book a call from first link in the description, right? Now, talking about the secret to the system. Well, the thing is like this system is not done yet. To amplify the system's power, we use killer offers and free value that pulls people towards you, right? Now, to tell you what happens is like if you have a micro channel, I have like 28 subs. If you have like somewhat like that or a bit more, people rarely will directly book call with you. Why? Because that is like a really big CTA, right, to like directly book call with you. But you know, like because like I created this system and I have created my own system, which is why like out of 8 calls that I had, maybe like 4 or 5 of them I got directly, right? And you know, like once you understand this, you can do the same for yourself. But for the beginning, you know, like you have to invite your viewers to DM you, right? Because the thing is like you cannot book calls without trust, right? But you can interact with them without trust and then build the trust and then book call from them, right? And that was the secret of this system, right? And it works like insanely well. Well, for my clients, I do all of this process by myself, right? From consciously telling them how to plant first principles in their own videos and to create the complete offer deck for them. So if you want your money to work for you and not the other way around, you can book a quick call with me from the first link in the description, right?